We're not talking about your grandpa's Budweiser. We're talking about the most expensive, luxurious, and frankly ridiculous beers on the planet. So buckle up, because we're about to crack open some knowledge about the top 10 priciest brews that money can buy. Let's dive in. All right, kicking off our list at number 10, we've got a beer that's truly out of this world. Literally, it's Sapporo's Space Barley, and it'll set you back a cool $110 a bottle. Now, you might be thinking, what's so special about this beer? Is it made with alien hops or something? Well, not quite, but it does involve space travel. You see, this beer is brewed using barley seeds that spent 5 long months aboard the International Space Station. That's right. These little grains of barley got to experience zero gravity, cosmic radiation, and probably some really awkward conversations with astronauts. Can you imagine being stuck in a tin can with a bunch of astronauts for 5 months? I bet they had to ration their space cheese. Anyway, the project was a collaboration between Sapporo Breweries, the Russian Academy of Sciences, and Okayama University. They wanted to study how extreme environmental stresses, like those found in space, affect plant growth. And what better way to do that than by sending some barley into orbit? So if you're looking for a beer that's truly one giant leap for beer kind, look no further than Sapporo's Space Barley. Coming in at number 9, we've got a beer that's fit for a king, or at least a really important diplomat. It's Crown Ambassador Reserve, and it's priced at a regal $90 per bottle. This beer is all about luxury and tradition. It was first released in 2008 to celebrate the 90th anniversary of Crown Lager, which, by the way, has a pretty cool backstory itself. See, Crown Lager was originally brewed back in 1919 for visiting dignitaries and ambassadors. Can you imagine that? Back then, they had actual ambassadors. Not like today, where we just send a strongly worded tweet. Anyway, Crown Ambassador Reserve takes things up a notch. It's aged for a full year in French oak barrels, which gives it a smooth, sophisticated flavor that's perfect for sipping on while you're negotiating a peace treaty or, just watching the game. Each bottle is a work of art, with a design inspired by the original Crown Lager bottles. At number 8, we have a beer that's for true beer connoisseurs only. It's Samuel Adams Utopias, and it's priced at a hefty $200 per bottle. This beer is not for the faint of heart or the light of wallet. It's a blend of multiple batches of beer that have been aged in a variety of barrels, including bourbon, port, and even cognac barrels. Can you imagine cleaning those barrels? It's like a history of deliciousness stuck to the sides. Utopias is released every 2 years, and each batch is unique. The beer has a rich, complex flavor that's often described as being more like a fine cognac or port than a traditional beer. It's the kind of beer you savor, like a good book or a long weekend. So, if you're looking for a beer that's truly an experience, and you're not afraid to shell out some serious cash, Samuel Adams Utopias might just be the beer for you. Hold on to your hats, beer lovers, because at number 7, things are about to get intense. We've got Schorschbrau's Schorschbock 57, and it's not messing around. This beer comes in at a staggering 57.5% alcohol by volume, and it'll cost you a cool $417 per bottle. Now, this isn't your average beer. This is serious business. It's made using the traditional Eisbock method, which involves freezing the beer and removing the ice to concentrate the alcohol. Imagine trying to explain that to your insurance company after you leave it in the freezer too long. No, see, it's supposed to be this strong. The Schorschbock 57 was part of a bit of a beer rivalry, if you will. Schorschbrau and another brewery, Brewdog, were locked in an epic battle to create the world's strongest beer. They kept one-upping each other with stronger and stronger brews. It's like an arms race, but with beer. Coming in at number 6, we have a beer that's as classy as a vintage Rolls-Royce. It's Carlsberg's Jacobsen Vintage, and it'll set you back around $533 per bottle. This beer is all about celebrating history and heritage. It was launched in 2008 to commemorate Carlsberg's 160th anniversary. That's a lot of birthdays. I wonder if they got a discount on the cake. Jacobsen Vintage is aged in a combination of Swedish and French oak barrels, which gives it a complex and nuanced flavor. It's the kind of beer you sip slowly and appreciate, like a fine wine or a Shakespearean sonnet. And to make things even more special, each of the 600 bottles produced features a unique lithograph by the Danish artist Frans Konik. That's right, you're not just buying a beer, you're buying a piece of art. although I wouldn't recommend using it as a coaster. At number 5, we've got a beer that's older than some of my jokes. It's Decam and Three Fontainen Millennium Juice 1998, and it's priced at a cool $616 per bottle. This beer is a true rarity. It was a collaboration between two legendary Belgian brewers, Armand de Belder of Three Fontainen and Willem van Herwegen of Decam. Imagine the brainstorming sessions those two must have had. Okay, Willem, what if we aged this batch in a hollowed-out loaf of sourdough bread? Armand, you're a genius. They bottled this masterpiece back in 1998 to celebrate the new millennium, and it took its sweet time re-fermenting in the bottle. In fact, it took so long that they nicknamed it the Lazy Boy. Hey, some beers take their time to reach their full potential. It's like they say, good things come to those who wait. Or in this case, good beers come to those with a lot of patience and even more money. Hold on to your monocles, folks, because at number 4, things are about to get weird. We've got BrewDog's The End of History, and it's priced at a mind-boggling $1,159 per bottle. Now, this beer is not for the easily offended or the faint of stomach. You see, The End of History is a 55% ABV beer that's packaged in, get this, taxidermied animals. You heard me right, taxidermied animals. We're talking stoats, squirrels, the whole woodland creature gang. I'm not sure if I should drink it or display it above my fireplace. The name, by the way, is a reference to philosopher Francis Fukuyama's book, The End of History and the Last Man. Deep stuff, man. Only 12 bottles of this bizarre brew were ever made, making it one of the rarest beers on the planet. It's like finding a unicorn, but instead of a horn, it has a bottle opener. Sliding into the number 3 spot, we have a beer that's as rare as a humble comedian. It's Cantillon Loric 1998, and it'll cost you a cool $1,722 per bottle. This Belgian lambic beer is famous for its long and complex fermentation process. It's like the beer equivalent of a PhD dissertation. Bottled back in 1998, this particular batch took an unusually long time to re-ferment in the bottle, earning it the nickname Lazy Boy. Hey, some beers just like to take their time, you know? Maybe it was procrastinating on its fermentation homework. Whatever the reason, its rarity and unique brewing process make it one of the most sought-after beers in the world. Coming in hot at number 2, we've got a beer that's as cool as a penguin in sunglasses. It's Antarctic Nail Ale by Nail Brewing, and it'll set you back a frosty $1,815 per bottle. Now this beer has a story as big as the continent it's named after. It was brewed using water from melted Antarctic ice. That's right, they went all the way to Antarctica, scooped up some pristine ice, melted it down, and said, "Let's make a beer." I hope they at least brought some snacks for the penguins. Only 30 bottles of this icy elixir were ever produced. And the best part? The proceeds from the sale of this beer went to support the Sea Shepherd Conservation Society, an organization dedicated to protecting our oceans. So you can sip on this unique brew knowing that you helped make a difference. And finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, the beer that makes all other beers tremble in their boots. It's the granddaddy of expensive beers, the one and only Arctic Ale by Allsop, coming in at an astounding $503,300 per bottle. I know, right? You could buy a house for that much money, or a small island, or a lifetime supply of regular beer. This beer has a history that's almost as unbelievable as its price tag. It was originally brewed way back in 1852 for an Arctic expedition led by Sir Edward Belcher. Talk about a throwback. This beer was literally on an adventure before electricity was a thing. For over a century, this beer was lost to the annals of time. People thought it was gone forever. A legend whispered in hushed tones in the darkest corners of pubs. But then, like something out of an Indiana Jones movie, a few bottles were rediscovered in a shipwreck off the coast of England. Can you imagine stumbling upon that treasure? Talk about a good day for a salvage crew. One of these bottles was auctioned off, fetching the jaw-dropping price of over $500,000, making it the most expensive beer ever sold. So there you have it, the top 10 most expensive beers in the world. Thanks for sticking with me on this wild ride through the world of high-priced brews. We've seen beers brewed with space barley, aged in oak barrels that cost more than my car, and even packaged in taxidermied animals. It's enough to make you thirsty, right? But hey, whether you're a beer aficionado or just someone who appreciates a good story, I hope you enjoyed this little journey into the world of luxury beers. And who knows, maybe one day, you'll find yourself face to face with one of these liquid treasures. If you do, drink responsibly, tip your bartender, and for goodness sake, send me a picture. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating content. Cheers!